So welcome to therapeutic sequence 1. So to begin with, we're going to come to our back and allow yourself to bend your knees. And then we're going to place our right hand on our chest and our left hand on our abdomen. And we're going to focus on diaphragmatic breathing here. So to begin with, what we want to try to do is let the belly expand on the inhale. So breathing into your belly. And in actuality, what we're doing is letting that diaphragm lower so it pushes the belly out. So inhale. And then on the exhale, begin to slow the breath down, breathing through the mouth like you're blowing through a straw. Again, inhale, breathing into the belly, feeling the expansion as you breathe in. And again, slow the exhale down. And as you breathe in, noticing the belly soften and expand, we're trying to let the chest be relaxed and just focus on the belly. Inhale. And a long, slow, steady exhale. And we're just going to go ahead and practice this a few more times. Inhale. And a long, slow exhale. And again, inhale. And again, a nice, long, slow exhale. And release your hands down. And we're going to begin to roll to one side or the other and make our way up to a seated posture. So diaphragmatic breathing is one of our primary breathing techniques to help reduce anxiety. So allowing yourself to spend some time with that breath. At some point you can even pause the video and just stay with that breathing technique a little bit longer. And I may have an additional video just for the diaphragmatic breathing, but beginning to allow yourself to let the belly expand and then slowing your exhale down, especially breathing out through the mouth, creates new synapses in the brain and the vagus nerve, which helps to create a different way of dealing with anxiety triggers, as you've seen in the videos. And so now we're going to move into a seated position. So a simple cross-legged position, and if it doesn't feel comfortable, you know you can sit up on a blanket or a bolster, or maybe even in a chair. And we're just going to place our hands down beside our hips, so hands flexed and just resting. Now inhale, we're going to lift our left arm up. And on the exhale, we're going to start to hinge over to the right. You can slide that hand out and bend the elbow if you like. Inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, release that left hand. Inhale, lift your right arm up, and on the exhale, hinging over to your right. And again, you can slide that hand out if you like. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Now inhale, coming back up to center, and this time on the exhale, we place that hand down. We're going to lift our right arm up and then hinge over again to the side, but this time we might lift that hip up off the mat, coming into a slight imbalance. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And again, as we hinge over, just allow that hip to come up off the mat. And so we can do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And then finding your way back to a seated posture, allowing yourself to settle back down. So using balance as another tool and technique for calming anxiety. And so now we're going to come into what's called a Z-sit. So we're going to keep the right leg forward and bring our left leg back, coming into a Z-sit. And do know that if you feel completely off balance, you can always place a blanket under one of your hips. We're going to move into what we call a flexion and extension of the spine, or a cat-cow flow. And what we want to do is place our hands on our hips, and this would be inhale position. And on the exhale, we want to tuck that tailbone, draw the abdomen in toward the spine, and release that chin toward the chest. Now when we inhale up, we're going to arch that back gently. And on the exhale, again, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly toward the spine, and release your chin to your chest. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. And once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. And then allow yourself to come back to neutral, and we're going to switch the legs. So bring the opposite leg forward, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what's going on with my back. So inhale, sitting up, and on the exhale, we're tucking the tailbone, lowering the chin, and drawing the abdomen back toward the spine. Inhale, bringing a small arch into the back, and exhale, gently rounding forward. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And once more, inhale. And once more, exhale. And then once again, allow yourself to come back up to neutral. Now this particular movement could be done from a chair if this is not comfortable with the legs, or it can be done sitting up on a blanket, or just even staying on a mat and not using the Z-sit. If that's uncomfortable, you can still do the flexion and extension. And so now we're going to come onto all fours. So just allow your wrists to be under your shoulders, knees to be hip distance apart. Now we're going to inhale here, and then on the exhale, slide that right arm underneath the left and come to rest on your right shoulder, right ear. Now your left elbow can remain bent with your left palm on the mat, or you can slide that arm out in front, whichever feels better for you. And just take a few breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. You can always use that long, slow exhale out through the mouth if you like. Inhale and exhale. And once more, inhale. And once more on the exhale. If you've extended that left arm out, bring it back, press into the palm, and lift yourself back up to your tabletop position. And this time we're going to slide that left arm underneath the right, come to rest on your left shoulder, left ear. And maybe you extend that right arm out in front. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. And just continue holding and breathing through this pose for 5 to 10 breaths. And now, again, if you've extended that right arm out, bring it back in closer, bend the elbow, press into the palm, lift yourself back up, and from here we're going to come into what we call a downward facing dog, and we're going to tuck our toes, And inhale. And on the exhale, lift the hips up and begin to alternate your heels down toward the mat. Just inhaling and exhaling, relaxing and releasing through the backs of the legs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, releasing one heel. Exhale, releasing the other. Just take your time as you flow through this. Inhale and exhale. And now from here, we're going to go ahead and release those knees down. Take a moment. Maybe you come to your forearms and rotate your wrists. And this can also be done from the forearms if you have difficulties with your wrists. Now from here, once again, we're going to come back to this tabletop position and tuck the toes. Inhale. And on the exhale, with a deep, long, release your heels down. Inhale, release your knees. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale, and once more, exhale. And one more time, release those knees down. And again, come to the forearms, rotate your wrists. Allow yourself to come all the way down onto the mat and take a moment and relax through the pelvis. Adjust your pelvis so it's comfortable. Begin to place your elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms and palms down on the mat. We're coming into Sphinx Pose, and we want to lengthen up through the neck. We want to make sure that we're not crunching the shoulders up by the ears. Let the forearms and palms rest on the mat, and begin to let the muscles through the back of the body begin to relax. Just take your time here and breathe. Long, slow exhales. So the upper body is engaged, but we want to see if we can let the muscles that are supporting the spine across our hips and in the back of the legs just release. Continue inhaling and exhaling slowly. And then from here, we're going to draw our hands underneath our shoulders, gently pressing into the palms. And we're going to bring ourselves back into Child's Pose. In Child's Pose, you might take your knees wide, bring your toes together, ease your hips back toward the heels. You have a few options here. You can keep the palms on the mat and let your forehead come to rest on the mat. But you might prefer to have your forearms come down to the mat and maybe even stack your hands and place your forehead on your hands. Or if you need even more visibility from either side, you might stack your hands in fists and let your head rest on your hands here. So allow yourself to take a few breaths here. Take some time with this. This is one of the best poses for calming anxiety. And just breathe. Allow yourself to relax into this. And then from here, inhale, lift your head up. And on the exhale, we're going to bring our legs out in front of us. We're going to come into a seated twist. So just extending those legs and get into a comfortable position. Draw your right knee in towards your body and then let that right leg cross over. And then begin to place your left hand on top of the right knee. Place your right hand behind your right hip. Sit up tall and gently look toward that right shoulder. Now, the hand can rest on the knee, or you might wrap the elbow around the knee, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And on the inhale, ease up on the twist for a moment, and on the exhale, gently twist a little deeper. Inhale, come back to center, and on the exhale, gently twisting. Inhale, and exhale. And once more, inhale, and once more, exhale. And you can also stay static in this pose if that feels good. Just make sure that you don't feel like your breathing is restricted. Now inhale, come back to center, and on the exhale, extend your right leg, bend your left knee, and let that left leg cross over the right. Place your right hand on top of that left knee. Place your left hand behind your hips, sit tall, and again, gently look toward that shoulder. Now inhale, ease up on the twist, and exhale, twist a bit deeper. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And once more, inhale, and once more, exhale. Now inhale, come back to neutral, and on the exhale, we're going to bend both knees, and we're going to find our way onto our backs into a supine position. And so allow yourself to lift the feet up off the mat, placing your hands on top of the knees, and begin to draw your knees in toward your chest, just to where it feels comfortable for you. You might interlace those fingers around your knees and rest here for a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Just breathing. Now from here, we're going to place one hand on each knee, left hand on your left knee, right hand on your right. And we're going to begin to draw our knees into the chest at the same time pressing our knees away with our hands. So this is a bit of an isometric movement. So as your knees draw into your chest, press your hands against those knees to try to move them away. So you create that isometric tension. And continue to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Now inhale, and on the exhale, one more time, just bring those knees in toward the chest. And then from here, we're going to release our legs down. And do know that at any point in this video, you can stop the video and spend a little more time in one of the poses, or once you know the sequence, you can do it on your own. From now, at this point, we're going to move into Shavasana, final relaxation. So I'm going to bring some props out here. So some yoga blankets. Usually they're just a sturdy blanket that you can fold into squares or rectangles. So I'm going to place one underneath my head. And then I have another blanket that's rolled up in a lengthwise position. And I'm going to allow that one to be under my low back. And then I have a bolster, which a yoga bolster that you can buy online at Yoga Mart. These are great, but there's other ones that you can buy even on Amazon, and maybe even just a pillow from the house. And so you can place that under the knees. And we're going to come into Shavasana, which is just a moment to rest, let go of doing. So make those adjustments, get comfortable, let your hands rest, palms upward away from your body. Maybe let your feet fall out to the sides for a moment. And we're going to spend a little time here. So do know that you might decide that you want to spend more time than the video allows, but allow yourself, again, you can pause the video at any time. Maybe this is just a restorative pose that you come into every evening. Just take a moment here, relax. Just breathe. Let go of tension where you find it. Now, as you're ready, rebend those knees. Allow yourself to roll to one side or the other and find your way up to a seated posture. Remove your props, and we're going to do some pranayama and a gentle guided meditation. So from here, come back into your comfortable seated position. And once again, we're going to do that abdominal breathing. So placing that right hand on your chest, again placing the left hand on the abdomen, and inhale, allowing the belly to soften and expand. And exhale, draw the abdomen back toward the spine as you exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Just let your exhale slow down to 1.5 to 2 times the length of the inhale. Once more on the inhale. And once more on the exhale. And begin to allow yourself to release the hands. Now, this pranayama practice or any of the pranayamic practices can be continued as long as you like. So if you find them to be helpful, allow yourself to spend a little more time practicing those pranayama practices, or maybe throughout the day. And finally, we're going to come into meditation. And so we're going to continue with that long, slow exhale, breathing out through the mouth. You might close your eyes or just lower your gaze. And we're just going to go through a body scan, letting go of tension where we find it. So taking a moment and just begin to breathe slowly out through the mouth. Allow your awareness to move into your jaws, noticing tension that you might be holding in your jaws. Allowing yourself to begin to let go of tension that you find there, maybe just 5% for now. We're not going to force ourselves to relax. Allow yourself to notice your temples, letting go of tension that you might be holding there, as much as you're ready to let go of in this moment. Noticing the muscles behind the eyes. Allow your awareness to move to the base of the skull. Let go of tension that you might find at the base of the skull. Let that awareness travel down into the back of the neck. Allow yourself to release 5% of that tension. Let the awareness move into the tops of the shoulders. Maybe letting some of that burden release from the shoulders. Let your awareness move into the chest, noting any tension that you're holding there. Can we begin to soften and gently release some of that tension? What about the solar plexus? Can we begin to allow that diaphragm to move more fluidly? What about your belly? Can we soften through the belly? Let your awareness move into your spine, noticing tension you might be holding through the back of the body, softening and releasing as you're ready to. Let your awareness move down into your pelvis, your sacrum, and the hips. Can we soften there? Noting and sensing your arms and hands, legs and feet. Allow yourself to gently let go. Let go of as much tension as you're ready to let go of in this moment. Relaxing is a practice. Be gentle on yourself. I want to thank you for joining me in the practice tonight. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. From my heart to yours.